found her safe this morning. A Clay County man is accused of threatening people at the courthouse, and they arrested this man, Christopher Hardy, and charged him with terroristic threat. Eddie Scott says he made specific threats of bodily harm to county employees and visitors. Hardy is in a Clay County detention center with an arraignment planned for Thursday. Deputies say the investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with any information, the Clay County Sheriff's Office or the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. A business owner is offering $10,000 to anyone with information about a robbery that happened on Christmas. It was on the 23rd, just minutes before Treasury loans would close for the holiday, that the robber was seen scoping out the place around 20 to 30 minutes before a customer left. That's when he came through the side entrance. He pointed a gun, according to law enforcement, at an employee's head and forced the employee to empty the vault. Now, the owner, Jan Kaysen, is offering a $10,000 reward for any help that would lead to an arrest. You're asked to call Pontotoc Police if you have any information that can help them solve this case. Some great news for the homeless population in Columbus. City leaders unanimously approved a request to help them out. What you are seeing here are the plans that the Golden Triangle Regional Homeless Coalition submitted to the City Council a couple of weeks ago. The Columbus City Council voted last night to donate 3 acres of land to the nonprofit. The president Martin told us she wants to build a tiny village for the homeless. She says most solutions for the homeless are temporary, but this would be permanent. Right now, a special ceremony actually at North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo. Staff is recognizing a new feature that would be very beneficial for its patients. The North Mississippi Medical Center's women's is adding a new neonatal intensive care camera system. It is called Angel Eye. This is a bedside camera system for parents. Patients will have access to an app, Angel Eyes technology. It will actually allow new parents to check in on their children while they are in the NICU. Ellen Freelo, who is the vice president, says what today's event is all about.
This is just a donor recognition event. We want to say thank you. We want them to see the technology. We want to hear from our parents, to hear their experience with the cameras.
Freelo says they are always looking to improve patient experience. She says they saw during COVID the pain that parents actually went through by not seeing their babies. She says they wanted to reach out to the company Angel Eye and offer parents another way to see their babies. All of this happened because of the Healthcare Foundation of Mississippi. They raised funding.
I believe my God is real.
$300,000 in donations to purchase a system. Again, this camera system app is available now for patients, and it is free. Well, you still have a chance to win $50,000, but you need to act fast because time is running out. People in California can't seem to catch a break when it comes to the weather. They're now being told to stock up on supplies.
And I know there are a bunch of you that rely on my God because you don't know him for yourself.
These are coming your way as WTVA 9 News at 4 continues.
There are thousands of lawyers in Mississippi, but there's only one Richard Schwartz.
So pull another face.
Purchased by Friday, March 10th at 10:30 p.m. Now you can also buy.
Our representatives are still busy. Please remain on the line. We appreciate patience.
They'll tell you if you have a case and how much.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it, folks. Call now.
Portions of this program are sponsored in part by Thompson Insurance Brokerage, Medicare Solutions. Simple.
Our representatives are still busy.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Weather every 10 minutes. WTVA 9 News Today on WLOV.
All right, John, our producer Joe, just like everybody else probably in North Mississippi, wants the rain to go away.
And it's going to rain. Rain is going to stay. That's the way things are going to be. And I guess we can't, Mother Nature wants to have her way, and it does look like, for the most part, between now and Friday morning, we're going to see more off and on areas of rain moving through our neck of the woods. Today, we've seen some areas like around the Grenada area, 1.46 Greenwood and Grenada area, right around an inch and a half of rainfall. There have been some lighter amounts. Some folks did miss out on the activity, but that's hence the patchiness of it all. Now, here's a forecast for the next several days. This includes from now through Friday morning and also what will happen on Sunday. We will see some rain showers and some thunderstorms. We have that little bit of a break coming up for Friday afternoon through Saturday, so there is a little bit of a break there. But all in all, we will still see a couple of more inches of rainfall, especially over northern sections of Alabama, stretching into extreme northeastern sections of Mississippi. Today's rainfall all but gone now for our viewing area. We do have most of the rain off to our east over portions of western Alabama, and it keeps moving off east-southeastward, and it's mostly in the category of some light to moderate rain. Now, a little bit of rain now in Arkansas. That's going to pass into our area, so we will continue to see some showers this evening. Will we see any thunderstorms? I doubt it. I think we will see some thunderstorms maybe later tonight as some of that stuff over in Texas moves our way. Frontal system just hanging around front, and latest bit of low pressure passing through our area as we speak. That gave us rain today. More low pressure off to our west will move its way along that front, just like a railroad track, bring in some more rain and some thunderstorm activity here after midnight, especially. Temperatures out there are mostly 50. Some towns have been right into the lower 60s. That's within the towns that have missed out on the biggest or greatest part of the rain. We've broken into some sunshine over portions of our area. As a matter of fact, partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies right now, with little rays of sunshine in the Tupelo area. That's Tupelo, the southwest side right there. And as we check out what's happening right now in the Starkville area, it's mostly cloudy in the Starkville area. So there are some areas of sunshine out there, and there are some areas of cloud cover out there. And that'll be the story. Breaks this morning. It started off mostly sunny in many areas, ended up being mostly cloudy by later in the morning, and we saw the rain and thunderstorm activity. Tomorrow,
we're activated to go out and do any short evacuations, sandbagging, anything we can do to help. We're here ready to help out.
And here's hoping that they will be safe. Well, today, many women.
Fuck you, ho. Fuck you, ho. Fuck you, ho. Fuck you, ho. I know you trying to kill my mom. That's why I died right at your motherfucking doctor. I already know, bitch. It ain't no tit for motherfucking tat. Your mama stepped on my motherfucking toes. I'm gonna get her off my motherfucking toes. It ain't got shit to do with my mama. And if you come over here fucking with my mama, you looking to blow up every motherfucking thing that you own, not just your mama.
Marching across the globe in support of women's.
And no, I'm not sorry about your mama. I just don't want you throwing your dead ass mamas on me. Because I got one I'm fighting for every damn day.
Benefits in Medicaid.
Struggle to secure women's rights in the Philippines. Hundreds of pledge to work with the U.S. to find the perpetrator. One person is dead and several others had to be rescued after a fire broke out in New York apartment. Authorities say flames began shooting out of the top of the Mona Lisa cooperative residence on the Bronx River Road around 1:30 this morning. I wonder if I know where this is. Now, they say the fire started on the first floor, but has been burned through the top floors of the multi-story building. Multiple civilians and firefighters have been hospitalized or treated at flamage. 8 firefighters have minor injuries. At least one person is hurt during a home explosion in Pennsylvania. Authorities say a contractor was working to demolish the home when something was either hit from underneath or into the garage, causing a massive explosion. Over 30 homes were damaged as a result of the explosion, most of windows and cracked foundations. The man operating the demolition equipment is hurt in the chest, from what we were told. There is no word yet on his condition. A cause has yet to be determined. An exotic cat is recovering at the Cincinnati Zoo after testing positive, get this, for cocaine. Hard to believe, but this comes after the cat was spotted in a tree in a Cincinnati neighborhood back in January. Officials were able to catch the cat and bring it to the Cincinnati Animal Care. It was tested for narcotics. That's when the medical team discovered the cat was positive for cocaine exposure. The exotic animal was transferred to the Cincinnati Zoo for further care. It's unclear how got into the drugs. Attorney General Merrick Garland today announced the release of Breonna Taylor's investigation. Plus, we have an update on the Tyree Nichols case. That story and much more are ahead in the second half hour of WTDA 914.
My free plan, long plan.
What?
Co-anchor Craig Ford is on assignment. New at 4, a 7th, a Memphis police officer has been fired and others were suspended and left the force after Tyree Nichols' death. The suspended officer was fired following an internal investigation of the January 7th attack. Nichols died several days after a violent traffic stop captured in body camera footage, which shows the officer striking the 29-year-old repeatedly. His death has prompted protests and unrest across the country. A court delayed the release of more video from the January traffic stop that led to the deadly police beating. The Memphis City Council intended to release the additional footage this afternoon, now that its internal investigation into the beating has ended. Now, a defense attorney for one of the former officers filed a motion to block the release of the additional footage. The court order states no video, audio, or records related to the city's administrative investigation may be released until further order by the court. And the Department of Justice says it would review specialized police units. The Memphis mayor and police chief requested the DOJ's review following Nichols' death. This police officers were a part of banned Scorpion unit. They are now charged with second-degree murder and aggravated assault and subsequent death of Nichols. The department also reviewed the use of escalation policies that the Memphis Police Department had in place at the time of Nichols' arrest. Almost 3 years after the Louisville police killing of Breonna Taylor, Attorney General Merrick Garland today announcing the results of an investigation. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Routinely using excessive force, discrimination, and invalid search warrants. Some of the scathing findings from a Justice Department review of the Louisville, Kentucky Police Department.
This conduct is unacceptable. It is heartbreaking. It erodes the community trust.
The patterns and practices investigation stems from the death of Breonna Taylor in a botched police raid 3 years ago that set off fierce protests across the country and led to federal civil rights charges against 4 current and former officers involved.
It's heartbreaking to know that everything you've been saying from day one has to be said again.
The city and police department agreeing in principle to establishing a series of court-enforced reforms to address systemic failures. Attorney General Merrick Garland detailing the police department's improper use of force,
including unjustified neck restraints and the unreasonable use of police dogs and tasers.
And laying out findings that Louisville police have unlawfully discriminated against Black people by targeting Black neighborhoods more intensely and in some cases using racial slurs.
These are things Black people have been saying for a very long time, not just in Louisville, but nationally.
It comes as the DOJ They announced a review of the Memphis Police Department's use of force following the beating death of Tyree Nichols, and a separate review of specialized units within law enforcement across the country. The Justice Department's report underscores that the vast majority of police officers are doing their best in a difficult job, noting that Louisville police had deficient training, substandard facilities and equipment, and inadequate mental health support. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New at Florence County, things got a bit scary right before closing arguments during a high-profile murder trial. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins told me the families of the defendant and victim threatened each other with words and guns. You are looking at the 4 people deputies arrested Friday. They charged J.T. Selvey Jr., Jamarcus Selvey, and Dasha Wells with making terroristic threats. Trevon Little is charged with intimidating a judge, juror, witness, or attorney. Now, the sheriff adds the judge and jurors were never in any kind of danger. As for the trial, the jury convicted Kenny Armstead for murder and shooting 2 other people. He's now serving his life sentence at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility near Jackson. Governor Kay Ivey calls for a special session to give Alabama residents money. The special session comes after the governor delivered her State of the State address last night. The governor is calling for the special session to start today. She wants lawmakers to decide how to spend $1 billion in federal COVID-19 relief money. The state has to decide how to spend $1.1 billion it has left. Ivey is asking lawmakers to approve one-time rebates of $400 for adults, which means $800 for families. Ole Miss and Mississippi State are getting ready to play in the SEC men's basketball tournament in Nashville. The Rebels play South Carolina tonight at 6 and would face
Our representatives are still busy. Please remain on the line. We appreciate your patience.
At risk, over just.
Our representatives are still busy. Please remain on the line. We appreciate your patience.
Tennessee tomorrow afternoon. Venmo, and eBay. Under the American Rescue Plan, the reporting threshold was lowered to $600, but the agency delayed the new tax rule until next year after getting criticism. So that means if you receive more than $600 in goods and services this year through a third-party payment network, you should receive the form in 2024. Play ball. Sound of the crack of the bats will echo through the stands at Kirk Auto Sports Group.
Our representatives are still busy. Please remain on the line. We appreciate your patience.
For a year. Now, she says her favorite part about her job is that she loves interacting with the community, helping people, and the impact she makes on others. She became an officer because of the sense of duty to serve the community. We give a big thank you to Emily and to all of our.
This is for the water monitoring judge with Keith Ball with your actual and constructive knowledge.
Our female officers for everything that they do. It's 3 years in the making. The Kirk Auto Group Sports Complex is opening.
This video is for Judge Keith Ball and his conspiracy to deprive me of civil liberty on March the 13th, 2023.
This weekend in Grenada. And can't believe the sports complex is already booked until October because of travel.
Mr. Judge, civil deprivation, I'm calling it a hostage taking. I'm calling it hostage taking by civil deprivation. I'm calling it an injury to the First Amendment. I'm calling it concealing federal property. I'm calling it attempted murder, and I'm calling it treason. Now you say something.
Travel ball first phase of this, the local play coming later, but
oh, and I'm calling it while smoking a marijuana blunt. Typically something that offers relief to Black men who are suffering from an allergy caused by being enslaved by powerless white boys. But I'm looking to see if Judge Keith Ball is going to use the power of the white boy to stop me from saying that. Under the First Amendment, if he gonna do that.
Tickets for CDF members will cost $25 and $35 for non-members. The event is for people 21 and up. These girls are showing us how it's done when it comes to robotics.
And I understand that he like Roger Lott in Mississippi, there found a law or created one that says they can exploit a diagnosis that they created to cover up this relief and deprive me of my property incessantly during the torture. In actual and constructive knowledge of Judge Keith Ball. It's just a little, Judge Ball, it's just a little genocide. Go pick up your check. It's going to be okay. They did it in Rwanda too.
To sleep on her stomach with a blanket covering her, which is a violation.
That's what I heard. I heard we paid for, I heard we bought a little genocide in Rwanda. Might well buy a little genocide in you poor. Ain't no big deal.
Now, the community will hold an event on Thursday to remember autumn. It will happen at the Red Bay City Park at 3 o'clock that afternoon. In honor of International Women's Day, this all-girls robotics team are actually helping.
It's a joke.
Girls in Afghanistan. This is the inspiring all-girls robotics team from Afghanistan called the Afghan Dreamers. These women escaped their country in Taliban rule, competing in robotics competitions all around the world. In a country where girls are banned from education, these dreamers have developed skills in science and technology.
I didn't say that because I emailed Judge Keith Ball those words, but I said them eloquently as Justice Thomas of the British Royal Army. I mean, Justice Thomas of the United States Supreme Court.
A new skyscraper is set to open in Tokyo, Japan this week. Tokyo Midtown was partially open to the public on Tuesday, with the official opening happening on March 10th. The 45-story building houses a group at our forecast, all of that is coming.
Just a little genocide sitting in your box, Judge Ball. That's all. Just all. That's just a little genocide gonna be sitting in your email box. Oh, Sharon Acock got a cannon up there. I sent a cannon up there to the fifth district court up there on the north side. I ain't gonna send you no cannon because I got to go to work. I guess I'll be in jail from your court if you decide that I can't go to work, because when I go to work under a constitutional government, that's probably going to require me to file a whistleblower report that could likely put you and several other people that you know down there in the Southern District in jail, like maybe Judge Jordan for suppressing my First Amendment right to say that the people on the North were trying to kill me. Even before I filed all that, the police officers coming over here and heart attacks, or even with the mayor down there, Judge Ball. I honestly appreciate all you do for the hostages. Is what now?
My name is
Sonia,
Sonia, S-O-N-Y.
Sony,
Sonia, S-O-N-Y.
Sony. I'm sorry, Sonia. I know so many Sonias that I just can't get Sonia to come out my mouth. Anyway, my nephew has a PlayStation 4. I was gonna buy him a video game to play it for his birthday, which is March the 11th. He'll be turning 5, in case you wanted to use his birthday to open up you an account on anything. But I have a Direct Express account going to be locked because you guys are participating in some type of fraudulent activity. That's why I'm calling. I wanted to get your name as an individual who's going to get paid for that.
I can help you with that.
Oh, I bet you can. It's 587-316485, and I was born October the 4th, 1977, if you want to use that information for something other than I gave it to you for.
Okay, can you please repeat your social a little bit slower?
587-316485.
Can you please write me your full name?
Zori Rush.
Okay, Mr. Rush. And can you please repeat your birthday?
October 4th, 1977.
Okay, sir. Can you please provide me your phone number?
662-753-1249.
Can you please provide me your email?
ZORIRUSHMETWHO@gmail.com.
Okay, sir. Can I place that on quick hold so I can go ahead?
Certainly. All right, son. Yes, Sony.
Okay, sir. So for me to have access to your account, you're gonna have to send in a picture of your ID to an email address that I'm gonna provide for you.
Is it ID? Hold on a second. Is that email address that you're going to give me ID at US Direct Express one word.com?
It's ID at usdirectexpress.com. Yes,
All
sir.
right. It is the same email that I have already verified with a previous employee that I have sent the email, the ID to as of yesterday. This phone call is because your company has my property that includes my ID and refuses to release it, and they paying you with it. So I'm calling to make sure I can keep track of where my money is going, and right now it's going in your pocket. Get what I'm saying? Long as they got it, they can pay you with it. And that's what they gonna do, because as long as you on the phone talking to me and you have my property, you can get paid for making me talk to you. It's how waterboarding work. It work. That's how y'all call it customer service. The military calls it waterboarding. Especially when you have the actual and constructive knowledge that the people that you're talking to is disabled and probably subject to that expensive medication that gets paid for out of a pecuniary benefit fund at Medicare that pay for medicine and stuff. Because don't y'all pay benefits to disabled people mostly, ma'am?
Sir?
Don't y'all pay benefits to disabled people mostly?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that you have the email. Do you have your case number?
Yes, it's DX0001574258. I'm asking you though, ma'am. I'm a person who received this benefit because I have been declared by my country as disabled. Isn't that the service you are performing for most everybody? Is a service for people who are disabled and need some help from their government for some reason or another?
Sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So you said that you sent in your IDs.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to ask, is this something that typically happens to disabled people when they need to go and buy medicine and food and stuff with the stuff that the government gives to you? Does it typically take your company this long to give it to them? I'm new here. This is my first time ever using your service, and I didn't know that you had this rule where you could get my ID and my benefits from the government and then take my property and just not give it back to me. I didn't know you could do that. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Still here, sir.
I'm asking you things and you're not saying anything.
Sir, I'm just verifying. I'm just verifying, and unfortunately, I don't see any updates about your IDs being verified, sir.
I understand that, ma'am. That's why I'm telling you. There's no there. Would you agree that with me not having access to my property, the only thing I can do now is wait or call you and find out where my property is? Or do you know something else I can do?
Okay, sir. In order to continue assisting you, we will have to wait for the IDs to process.
But what if I don't want to wait because I need my property to buy soap with? What if I would rather take a bath than let you take my property? Then what?
Yes, sir. Like I said before, we will have to wait for the IDs to process.
What about me though? What about me? What do I do when you take my property that I need to take a bath with and eat food with and take medicine with? What do I do when you take it and you get on the phone and say, well, we just gonna wait? What do I do? Because it's my property, not yours. You can wait, but it's my property and I don't want to wait. What happens when I don't want to wait?
Sir,
Yes.
I apologize for the inconvenience.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to wait for the IDs to process.
I have to wait? You said I have to wait?
You will have to wait for the IDs.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is what I can do as my civil liberty. I can call your phone and email you over and over again so that when I have a law enforcement officer come in there that's looking for somebody by your name, Sony, they can see that I was talking to you and telling you that this process is causing me a financial injury, and they can see that you got paid while I was saying that, and you got paid from stealing my property. See, a law enforcement officer can see that, because right now I'm keeping you on the phone so you can make me talk, and I'm emailing you at the same time. So when a law enforcement officer come in there to check and see what I said versus what you said, they can see what the truth is and see how the shoe feel if they put it on their foot. You see what I'm saying, Sony?
Yes, sir.
I don't. I think you do, because if you saw what I was saying, you would be trying to solve the problem like you had the shoe on. Do you have money? Do you have access to money? You have a job, so somebody's paying you to work. What if at the end of the week somebody just walked up to you and said, well, we just not gonna pay you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it? You just gonna wait and figure out what you're gonna do by yourself. You got kids. Do you have any children that you need to feed, or puppies or anything that you got to feed?
Sir?
Okay, so since you got puppies and things you got to feed, you gonna get all your access to your financial property, you gonna get it cut off. And then somebody gonna tell you to wait. And you gonna do that? You just gonna wait. You got puppies and things you got to feed, and you just gonna wait. You ain't gonna do nothing but wait. That's what you gonna do? That what Direct Express told you to tell me to do that? Because I don't work for the Army. I know that's what they do. They hurry up and they wait. They hurries up and they waits because they be under orders to be waiting on stuff. But I ain't under no orders about my property. I could call you and demand my property because you say you have it, right? You say you have it. You have my property, ma'am. Yes, you have my property. You got my social security number. I just gave it to you. You looked up some stuff. Does that mean you have my property? Is that my social security number you just used to look up stuff? Is that mine? Is it mine? I know who I am, ma'am. I know who I am. Is that my property? Because I thought this was customer service. So if I asked the question, since you're on the phone, you could actually answer it. But what I'm getting from you is sir, sir, sir. So am I supposed to have access to my property? Am I paying? Is my property paying you to say sir, sir, sir?
Like I said before.
Uh-huh.
You would have to wait for the ID.
I don't, ma'am. I don't. I don't. What I can do is document the injury. That's what I'm doing. I'm keeping you on the phone so I can prove that you are getting paid from stealing my property. And you are not having a problem with it because you have legs and things or a phone where you could call someone and say, hey, this guy wants his property now. He doesn't want to wait. You have that ability to do that. Okay, you have people, you have that you can contact and say, hey, this guy named Zori Rush, he's on the phone and he doesn't want to wait. He says his ID is there now. You can't do that. You are paid to tell me to wait like I'm in the military. You telling me to wait like I'm in the army. I've been drafted to the army waiting list on the waiting list army. That's what I'm doing. Because you told me to. So what I'm doing right now is proving that you're getting paid from stealing from me and sending an email to the person who stole it. That's what I'm doing. Right now, I'm sending a whole bunch of emails while I'm talking to you. And while you getting paid for the theft, I'm sending a whole bunch of emails. So if any law enforcement officer actually had an investigation, they could go in there and find the stolen property is what they could find. What the disruption is so I am disrupting somebody stealing my property right now. Which is what I would advise you to do, ma'am. If somebody stole your property, I would advise you to stop them from doing that. Don't let them, you go feed your family. Don't you let nobody stop you from feeding your family, ma'am. Anything you like to say now, or you like for me to keep talking?
Okay, sir, I provided you all the information. Is there anything else I can help you?
I'd like my property, ma'am. I'd like my property.
Okay, fine. If there's not anything I can help you with, thank you for calling Direct Dispatch Shop and Russian Department. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you for calling Direct Express. Enter the last 4 digits of your card number. We did not receive your entry. Try again. Enter the last 4 digits of your card number. For English, press 1. Para español, oprima 2. Thank you for calling Direct Express. Enter the last 4 digits of your card number.